Carly Becker from London says, when it comes to household costs, I would love some tips on where to cut back first and which outgoings I should prioritise. Claire, what should she be prioritising?
Well, I think obviously for a lot of households, the last few years have been really tough with the economic downturn and stuff. And I think what we find is that people feel that they've already made lots of cutbacks, but it's their bills that they don't bother looking at because it's a bit boring, it's a bit time consuming, but as a result they end up paying hundreds if not thousands of pounds a year more than they need to in a lot of cases. So obviously the priorities are paying your mortgage and keeping the house or your rent to keep your sort of the roof above your head. But things like, it sounds simple, but gas and electricity, you know, we've seen prices rocket over the past few years, but over 60% of households have never changed their energy provider. When your insurance is up for renewal, rather than just accepting the renewal quote that comes from your existing insurer, have a look around to see if anyone can beat it, because they probably can.
Some bills you have no control over, but those you can. Be creative. Come up with a new model. Come up with a challenge for yourself, and therefore you may discover that you have a way that's unique to you to help keep the effects of inflation or price growth out of your life.
So actually, when you take the time, and I think we should all do it regularly, to have a look at where you're spending your money and the extent to which you can get drawn into big brands rather than own brands when you're going to the supermarket and that kind of thing, can actually make a huge difference when you add it up.
And just actually seeing where your money goes, well,
Indeed.
actually you'll learn a lot from looking at that.
And having cash rather than paying by a debit card can make a difference, because, you know, £2 here, £5 for your lunch and your coffee, you don't notice it, but if it's actually you're taking out £50 at the start of the week, you notice it decreasing much more. You're much more aware of it than if you're just sort of handing your card over every time you spend.
The earlier you start educating your children about the fact that money is limited and getting them into a mindset of thinking that some of their money is for saving and some of their money is for spending is a fantastic discipline.